When I first graduated from high school, I knew I wanted to go to college, but I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to become. I applied to several universities and got accepted. However, I wasn't ready for the big change. Instead, I made the decision to go to Chaffey Community College. After exploring with several classes, I realized I wanted to become a teacher. I immediately began to fulfill all the necessary requirements to transfer to Cal State San Bernardino. I received my bachelor's degree in liberal studies in December 2006. My plan was to enter the credential program right away, but God's plans for me were different. At this time, I was starting a family and I was also having a call from God to serve Him. I became a substitute teacher for about 4 years. During this time, a lot of changes happened in my life. When the right time came, God opened up doors for me and I was able to go back to school and earn my teaching credential. I had heard that APU was a great college. They had told me that the classes were at night and that in about a year I would receive the teaching credential. I was very interested in attending APU because of their God-first mentality and because I would finish the program in a year. While I was in the credential program, I heard about the Digital Teaching and Learning Master's Program. Though I was a little hesitant to go into the master's program, God gave me the confidence that I needed to make the decision. Given that technology is such an important part of our culture today, I decided to enter the Digital Teaching and Learning Master's Program. Through the program, I conquered my fear of technology, and now I feel very confident about using technology to enhance my lessons. This program taught me to effectively integrate technology in my lessons while appealing to different learning styles and higher levels of thinking. Through this program, God provided me with a job. Before the summer vacation started, I was offered a position as an 8th grade media teacher at Vernon Middle School. I'm extremely excited about the opportunity to implement everything I have learned through this program. For my action research study, I have chosen to explore the relationship between physical activity and increasing energy level. Maintaining a high level of energy is important for me because my daily routines are very busy and they demand that I perform to my fullest potential. I usually sleep well at night, and though I wake up very early, this has not been an issue before. In the last couple of weeks, I have noticed that my energy level had decreased and that by noon I felt very tired. I decided to go to the doctor because I thought I had anemia. To my surprise, the doctor told me that my only problem was my lack of exercise. In order to improve my energy level, I decided to follow my doctor's advice. The strategy I used was to work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes. I will use a series of boot camp and cardio workout videos, and I also included some hand weights. My plan was great, but unfortunately, due to some family issues, school, and other personal problems, I was only able to follow it the first week. The next 2 weeks, I was only able to exercise 1 to 2 days. I collected my data, keeping track of my energy level every 2 hours on the days I said I was going to exercise. The tables show my energy level during a period of 3 weeks. It is evident that the days I did exercise, my energy level increased and I definitely felt better. By comparing the 3 tables, it is noticed that the more constant the workout routines are, the more constant the energy level. In only 3 weeks, I was able to lose 2 pounds and my water intake also increased. During my action research intervention, I noticed that even though I have the desire to stay active, I don't make this a priority in my daily routine. Even though I was not constant with my plan, I was able to see a change in my energy level. Completing this action research was motivating because I realized that in order to perform better throughout the day, I must be constant with my workout routines. The Outsiders is a great book because although the story was written during the 60s, some of those social differences exist today. The story touches upon very important themes and conflicts that are related to teenagers. Throughout the story and the unit as a whole, students will be able to make connections to their own personal issues and connections to different standards that are extremely important in their education. By relating the content to real issues in their lives, students will be able to excel in their required standards. As we read the story, students will be engaged by the storyline, but they will also learn to use technology as a tool to engage their learning. This unit of study covers 8th grade language arts, California content standards, as well as the technology standards. Students will be reading the book The Outsiders. Through various lessons, students will learn about the elements of plot and the relationship of setting with theme. Using a search engine such as Google, students will identify the meaning of figurative language words, and students will record their findings on a blog. They will read a poem by Robert Frost, and they will analyze the significance in the story. Students will also create a poem using poetry magnets. To complete this lesson, students will create a skit depicting the meaning of a figurative language word. Using YouTube and Pandora, students will listen to various songs from the 50s and 60s. They will relate the theme of each song to issues from the book The Outsiders. Students will use MindMeister to compare and contrast the differences and similarities of the greasers and the socials. To complete this lesson, students will use Movie Maker and GarageBand to create a video and a song that represents them. To conclude this unit, students will use various technologies such as School Loop, Microsoft Word, and Wikispaces to work collaboratively in the task of writing a 5-paragraph response to literature essay. Finally, I would like to finish by thanking God and my family for all the support and encouragement that they have given me throughout this chapter in my life. I will also like to share with you my favorite verse from the Bible. I can do all things through Him who gives me strength.